Hello everyone, Randall Tausig, BlueCore Leadership Lessons from the Cockpit, and I'm so excited. Just recently did a trip with Mina Lucks, who is the CEO and founder of Synergy Design and Construction, and we had such a great conversation on our way from Virginia to Florida, things about obstacles. What obstacles can we foresee, and what do we do if we don't foresee obstacles? We also talked about the concept of when to pivot and when not to pivot, to get back on path. It was a great conversation, and we talked about really her entrepreneurial journey, and I think you're going to find it very interesting. More about that later when we get in the cockpit. I'll see you soon. So Mina, you're in the cockpit.
I'm in the cockpit.
You are the co-pilot. You're my first official entrepreneur in the cockpit doing leadership lessons for the cockpit. How does that feel?
Feel very honored and excited.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you here. As we're sort of going about the journey, there are certain things that we have to think about. So I'll call them obstacles. That's kind of what we're going to talk about. That you're at point A, you want to get to Z. And we do know there are going to be obstacles along the way. Same thing that happens in flying. Like last night, it really wasn't anticipated that we'd have the weather we have. Fortunately, it's not severe weather, but we're in the clouds, in and out of the clouds. We have rain. There are things that I could anticipate. So there's a lot of things in flying that, as we think about it, obstacle-wise, that we can consider in advance. We can be thinking in advance and we can plan around. How many years actually have you been in business?
Yeah, over 15 years.
Wow, yeah. 15 years. Yeah. And so as you think about it, what are some of the things that you can anticipate?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think when you look at obstacles, especially when starting a business, you're looking at, how do you make sure that you have enough tailwinds to use some of this to allow you to have a good runway when it comes to lead flow. That's really one of the things you're always keeping an eye on is where this client's going to be coming from. How can you make sure that flow is going to continue? I have a home remodeling business, and it's making sure that we have enough leads, people that are calling in to ensure that we can take care of them.
On that track, when you're saying, okay, we got to get enough leads to get enough business, you go about doing everything you think you need to do. What are some obstacles that you found that you didn't anticipate?
Yeah, when it comes to marketing, I remember when we first started, we did a lot of print advertising, and we were talking about 15 years ago, but we wanted to be in the magazine. We wanted to show off our beautiful work for everyone, and that was an expensive endeavor, and that doesn't make the phone ring in your backyard, which and attract the actually right type of client. So really getting hyper-focused on who are we speaking to sounds 101, but when you're starting a business, usually a lot of times, or at least we were, very like, oh my God, any client that wanted to work with us, we were traveling further than we needed to. We were taking on projects that maybe weren't the right fit from a size and a scope, just because we wanted that lead. Once we learned to actually understand what the company wanted to do and what the good connection was with the type of client that we wanted, then everything just started to flow.
Got it. So you learned along the way. So sometimes there are things that you think you know, and you're actually getting advice from people, and it's not like we're doing this in a bubble.
Right.
But you go down the track, you do the best you can, and then you realize, wow, an assumption I made actually wasn't the right assumption. For example, when you were saying that you thought you need to be in print advertising and things like that, and show your work and all that. What I hear you saying is that you thought that that's what was needed to start getting the attention and getting the leads, but actually that wasn't the best way to get those leads.
Agreed.
Yeah, thinking about that, is there an analogy in running a business, in building a business, being the owner, being the visionary?
Yeah, as a CEO of any company, you really do shoulder the responsibility for the results. And that's not only a financial standpoint, it's the health of the business, the health of the employees, the health of the clients.
Is there anything that comes to mind that has kind of hit you in the face and say, wow, I didn't see that?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, really? I was thought you were going to say, no, nothing's ever happened like that.
No, building a business with my then husband for 15 years, 14 when we decided to split. All of a sudden there was a two-person owner of the company, and now there was me. So making that choice to not only leave the relationship, but then restructuring the company in order to be Bill One accountable and purchase him out, and that changed everything, obviously. It was an amazing experience because it had me look at everything dialed in, and stepping into a single owner relationship with my company, with my employees, had me step up my game and really take it to the next level and really actually clarify things in the end, not having those two voices that they had to concern themselves about, and really just seeing my vision and getting behind it.
What did you learn about yourself when you actually had to go solo and basically take it on what I assume are some responsibilities that maybe you didn't have before because they were split in certain ways? What did you learn about yourself?
I learned that I was a lot more capable than what I had a lot of head trash before of my previous business partner had a certain set of skills, and that I didn't possess them at all. It was my head trash around that. And so when I took the helm of the ship, I was like, oh wow, I actually am very detail oriented. I can look at financials. I can understand how to make the phone ring from a marketing standpoint, and really look at the health of the employees and get underneath them. So I had a lot more capacity than I ever imagined. And if I hadn't gone through this, I wouldn't have known that about myself. I think I would have thought, oh, I'm good at these things, I'm not good at these others. And so really helped me grow as not only an entrepreneur, but as a person.
You know, we talk about a business, and actually in this analogy of obstacles, we talk about obstacles you can anticipate, prepare for them. Obstacles you couldn't anticipate, but you got to be set up for them. And then the third thing is just to realize that you're not the only one here. You've got a team. Hopefully you built a great team to help when adjustments need to be made and some serious changes need to happen. How long was it before you felt that you had a really strong team that you could step back at times and not worry?
Well, it was an evolution. You know, when I made the switch and we went to the single owner and I took over the company, that's really when things shifted, because I had a level of trust in my employees. I actually wouldn't have offered to buy them out, and I wouldn't have taken over the helm if I did not have the strong team that we had. I knew that they would be supporting me because it was not only the business, we needed to keep that running, but I was, emotionally compromised. There were times where I needed to go through that healing process, that kind of grieving of the death of that relationship and of the death of what our company, Synergy, was at that time, because it looked very different after that. So it was a very cyclical piece for me. And so knowing that I had their support and really seeing them thrive because I needed their support. Everybody always wants to help everyone.
It's the most obvious way to do it, that you've got people that can step up and that want to step up.
Yes.
That must have just been such a big deal for you. And as you said, if you didn't have that, you probably would never have even attempted to do a buyout. You would have just sold the company.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have made the choice. And once I made that tough decision, I was like, I don't know how this is going to work. I didn't have a game I couldn't see, but I just knew that I had the team in place and that we'd figure it out together.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Have a little faith. You got to have some faith.
You got to have some faith.
What a great conversation in the cockpit with Mina. We talked about obstacles, some that you can predict, some you can't, the importance of having a strong team behind you. And next month, I'm looking forward to exploring the concept of pivoting. When to pivot, when not to pivot. Please join us in the cockpit. We'll see you soon.
Charlie Delta, left turn your discretion, Alpha to the ramp, my frequency. Have a great night.
Okay, left turn here, Alpha to the ramp will stay with you. You have a good night as well. Thanks.